Hello, everybody. So, welcome here to Heart of a Hobbit on the Lotro Twitch channel, so twitch.tv/Lotro stream. I'm your host, Little Redhead, and today I will be looking at my hunter after the recent changes by SSG. I have a lot of holes in my bars now because a lot has changed. Actually, I'm wondering, I'm not even wearing my weapons. Yeah, Kissed Chaos says, new build time, question mark? Yep, it is time to start over. Just realized I was playing music though, so let me get my weapons on at least so the buttons will show up. Sapling asked, can I make my stream 60 frames per second, please? I don't know if I know how to do that. Oops, not what I meant to push. But hopefully you are okay. Before it says, looks like it's currently 30 frames per second and it looks good on my end. Awesome. Thank you for that feedback. Okay, so yeah, so recently SSG made some updates to Hunter and Burglar. And let me see if I can grab those information notes. So they have, yes, here's our release notes that they provided to us. Sapling, thanks for that feedback. I will keep that and do it after the stream. I try not to mess with any of my OBS settings during the stream because then it crashes or something, and I don't want to mess things up during the stream. But thanks for that, and I will take a look at that afterwards. Okay, so let's see. What do we know about Hunter? So basically, it starts over completely. I think I actually did pick a thing. So the trait tree panels, things are slightly different from what they were before. The biggest thing, and I was just realizing this earlier because I haven't actually set up my character, but I did go ahead and start looking at some of the release note information. The biggest change, well, I don't know if this is biggest change, but a big change is that they got rid of the stances. So I used to have my 3 stances listed here, and they're not there anymore. So, because that's not a thing they do anymore. They have basically their stance on it was that people were staying with one stance and then just leaving it there, and not switching back and forth, so they weren't getting the benefit of it. And let me see if I can find where they mentioned that. Yeah. So over the years, players have, this is SSG's words, have generally landed on either precision or strength as being the best, and then stuck with that 100% of the time until a balance patch changed the stances themselves. The stances themselves never meaningfully altered any skills. Quick Shot only received relatively minor changes, in their opinion, and Hunter's art was removed years ago. No other skills were impacted by your stance, and they were arguably made obsolete by trait specialization trees. Given that they add very little to active gameplay, these skills are being phased out completely. So, what I used to do is I would use Quick Shot to gain back health if I was in a situation where I was in trouble. That's no longer, excuse me, an option. So, okay, so B4 says purge poison can now be used while moving. So I started reading through the some of the update notes, the release notes. And yeah, it's basically they have like a whole bunch of general information, because when you're doing well, this isn't a really good obvious one, but like when you're playing a hunter, there's certain skills that you get from being in the trait tree that you don't get from other trait trees. So like Heartseeker is only available once I spend a bunch of points in Bowmaster. But it's not like I would get them if I also spent, like over in Trapper of Foes, there's also specialized things over there. And I think like the Hunter Decoy. And I wouldn't get those. There's no way to access those because they appear over here on this side and not in the things that you can purchase from here. So, yeah, so any of the skills, though, that aren't trait tree dependent, they're based on your level, those already popped in. So basically, what it looks like they did is, you know, they dropped me out of the trait trees. You have to start over. And then they took away all your skills, and then they're like, oh, okay, your level, blah, blah, blah. Like the computer probably went ahead and did all this, right? And then just added skills back to me. So, like I've got this new skill, long shot, and which I'm guessing is based on me being a certain level of hunter. Same with like quick shot, you know, it was, yeah. So these were skills that I acquired as I leveled up as a hunter. So I do have a series of skills already. Oh yeah, this is new. But yes, but now then as I put stuff into my trait tree, I'll get more stuff. So just looking at what I've got basically here. Yeah, before is already, I asked him if he was looking at his stuff and he hadn't looked at it yet. So he and I are both kind of like going through this together. So purge poison, this one, can now be used while moving. Oh, that's good, because that was annoying to have to stand still for that. But I did notice Cry of the Hunter, by the way, the one where you can come out of being stunned. It used to stun the enemies around you. It no longer does that. So that's a little sad. The Cry of the Hunter. Yeah, it no longer dazes enemies by default. The daze is now a bonus effect granted by a legendary tracery. So I may have to reconsider some of my traceries because I obviously don't have that tracery. I mean, unless it's something that already existed and I already have it on for some reason. Let's see if we can... What are my traceries? Oh my gosh. Let's see. Heartseeker damage. Burn hot. Focus. Yeah, nothing there that seems to be related. And what about this one? Boom, 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 boom. Area effect. Damage over time. Blasting arrow days. Do I have? I wonder if that... have to look. I don't know that one. Rain of arrows, yeah. Blindside becomes a melee skill that generates focus. Blindside is... Oh yeah, there it is. Melee blindside. Okay. And low cut, the other melee skill. Okay. Swift bow, quick shot. Press on... Yeah. I don't think I have the thing that allows Cry of the Hunter to add the daze thing. You know what? Let's pop over to Rivendell real quick. Now I'm really kind of curious about this. Let's just pursue this line of thinking before we forget about it. I'm curious about the legendary tracery. Let's see. Yeah, before I pointed out that beneath notice, base cooldown has dropped to 1 minute. So that's this guy right here. So it reduces your perceived threat to 45%. Lasts for 10 seconds. So basically, like if you're in a situation where maybe you have gotten the aggro and the tank is struggling to get the aggro back because you just like, maybe you went first and didn't wait for the tank to get the aggro. Not that anybody I know has ever done that before. And so dropping the... your perceived threat can be a way for the tank to then get that back. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Sapling's asking, is blood arrow worth it now or penetrating shot better? That, I mean, right? I don't know yet. Oh wait, I want to go to the traceries place, which is over on this side. So I read through the generic hunter information, and I have not read through the specifics regarding, you know, each specific trait line yet so far. Okay, so let's see what we're looking at. We were looking at this Cry of the Hunter, which I'm going to guess is going to be a hunter-specific tracery. Swift Mercy. What's that mean? I feel like either they renamed some things or there's just stuff that I just never got into because I haven't gotten like all the way through on Yellow Line before, so that could be part of it too. Oh, here we go. Cry of the Hunter, right? Cry of the Hunter. So Cry of the Hunter, Daze, and Bubble Potency. So yeah, with this tracery, it looks like Cry of the Hunter dazes foes. You get a 55% bubble potency and plus 60 evade rating. Yeah. So I have to buy it if I want it. Which means getting rid of something else. And I don't know how I feel about that. Well, at this point, I'm not going to worry about it because I'm not going to change my traceries out today, I don't think. I don't know if I will change out my traceries today or not. We'll see we'll see what happens. Okay. So Blood Arrow. Let's look at Blood Arrow. Blood Arrow is this guy. Restores 10% of maximum morale. So yeah, they've changed it up a little bit about where you can get morale from. Let's see. Let's kind of start at the top. Quick shot power cost has been removed, so that's nice. And it's also now usable while moving, even when it has an induction when specialized in red or yellow. So that's cool to be able to use that on the go. I do like the idea of being more mobile in Redline because, man, having to stand still for everything in Redline has been a little rough at times. Okay, so Hunter stances are gone, which, you know, opens up 3 more spots on my bar, so that's nice. Okay, Purge Poison. Oh, it'll only remove 1 effect of any type and a second poison. Oh, it used to be like a gazillion. That stuff was good, man. It no longer has an animation. What? Oh, that's kind of sad. I like the little, you know. But I guess because it's usable while moving, they can't have you doing the animation while you're moving. I did hear something about that on the burglar side. People were frustrated. Sorry, the cat's dreaming and twitching. He's so cute. Yeah, burglar animations are. They took away a lot of burglar animations, and yeah, I heard people were sad about that. So, and I'm also sad about losing animations because animations are so much fun. But okay, whatever. But then again, like I said, I can't imagine how that would be easy to have you be animated and moving. It's probably, I don't know. There's probably some complexity in there that they couldn't accomplish. All right, so Purge Poison. The cooldown was 5 seconds and now it's 10 seconds. Okay, so it does less stuff, but you can do it while you're moving, but you can't do it as often. All right. Blindside. Oh yeah, I've turned it into a melee because I'm crazy like that. It no longer generates focus. You know, I don't. Well, mine says adds 3 to focus. Maybe because I have the melee thing. Okay, new Orome's arrow. That's this guy. And that is new. Like that's yeah, I didn't have this guy before. Okay, Orome's arrow, a damaging shot that cleanses foul corruptions. Yeah, they kind of. It seems like they changed where you can get health back from as a hunter and how you can dispel corruptions. So let me actually, I want to find that because I have a tendency to want to have it multiple times on my bar, because I'm like, I need to find this. All right, so we'll just scooch that in there for the moment. Because I think Blood Arrow now does morale. Interesting. But that's a 20-second cooldown. And Quick Shot is a 5-second induction. Alright, you know what? Let's just scooch this. We'll do this, and we'll get a second Blood Arrow out. Okay, so this is my morale builder, and this is my corruption remover. Sometimes I put it, like I said, sometimes I put it on there double just to make sure I, like, remind myself what skills I'm looking for. Okay. So back in the chat before in Sapling, we're having a conversation about Blood Arrow and Penetrating Shot, which is great. Let's see. Before saying he hasn't gone out adventuring with Blood Arrow, I'm guessing. But he liked the look of it for survivability. Being able to restore 10% of max morale every X seconds sounds nice. Yeah. 10% of max morale, that is good. Every time you shoot it, every time it hits, it has the potential, or it actually does it? That's a good question. Only 2% extra if you upgrade it. Okay. Yeah, 10% each time you use it. Yeah. Oh yeah, Kiss Chaos says my Berg hits harder for sure. That's good, but he's a bit less flashy about it. Aww. I mean, thematically, you don't want your burglar to be noticed, right? But yes, I agree. It's sad when they kind of take away some of the cool looking stuff. Nero Bit says, don't you think this game should have a Spanish translation? Spanish-speaking players could bring millions of new users to the game. I'm sure SSG would love to have a Spanish translation. Yeah. So, yeah, you should reach out and see if there's some way that you could help make that happen. So let's see. Sapling is saying 10% heal is 20k, so it's pretty good. Yeah. I mean, 10% is great. How much damage is Penetrating Shot? Penetrating Shot is, well, at my level, let's see. So Blood Arrow is looking at like 9,800 to 13,000, and so like 10,000 to 13 roughly. And Penetrating Shot is like 10,000 to 13, almost 14,000. So it's a little bit stronger than Blood Arrow. So Penetrating Shot's going to give you some pierces enemy mitigations, so that's also nice. Whereas Blood Arrow is going to restore some of that stuff. You know, I think I'm going to leave this room. Somebody's doing just some things back and forth, so let's. We don't need to stand there and listen to that for the moment. We can always pop back in there if we need to. Well, now we're in darkness. Let's see if we can get back in the light. How about that? That's a little better. Okay. So yes, damage Penetrating Shot versus Blood Arrow. They're very close, but it looks like Penetrating Shot is doing almost 1,000 more, 500 more. So 5%, I think, more than the Blood Arrow is. I mean, but going back and forth would make sense, because cooldown on this one's 20 seconds. Cooldown on this is 0.5 seconds. Penetrating Shot you could use over and over. That's awesome. Hey, we've got 72 raiders coming in from Slack Jeff, pouring the Bean team into your chat. Well, thank you. Hello, raiders, and welcome. Yeah, Sapling points out that Blood Arrow is much better as long as you need the heals. Absolutely. If you are needing the healing, I would just do Blood Arrow every time it comes up. Absolutely. So, well, hopefully, Slackjack, hopefully you and your fellow raiders are into Lord of the Rings Online, because that's what we are doing today, and more of the preparation side than the questing side. Although I probably will go out and hit things from time to time just to see how this new setup is working, because SSG recently made huge updates to Hunter and Burglar, but I am looking at Hunter stuff right now. Oh, Slack Jeff says, I've been streaming it all week, although I'm kind of new. Oh, well, welcome to the game. Congratulations. Yeah, it's never too late to start, right? Lotra has been around for 18 years now. Is that right? Is that what's on my... I have my screen covered up. Yeah, 18 years. Crazy cakes. I have little doodlies at the top of my screen that are kind of fun. Little thingies up there. So, hey, Slack Jeff, we are kind of chilling out at the moment, going over stuff. And you are welcome to hang out and ask questions. I know when you're getting started in the game, sometimes it can be like, whoa, I'm not sure what any of this means or what is going on, and etc. Sapling started playing Lotro when you were 8 years old. Oh my gosh, that's fantastic. And Taya Silimaru has says new and old Lotro peeps. I've been playing since late 2008. Started in 2008. Also Sapling. Nice. That's awesome. I started playing Lotro in January of 2019. So haven't been around as long as some of you, but longer than some others of you. So, right there in the middle. But I play often enough and I stream often enough that I've learned a few things. People in the chat are knowledgeable about various things. I mean, basically, for you new folks, there's so much going on in Lotro, so many things you can learn. There's like, oops, let me scoot out of the way of this. I went the wrong way. Let's try to get out of the way of that elf. For example, if you look at your options panel, there are so many different things that you can adjust through all of these different options that are available to you. Especially when you get to the UI settings, like look at all that. Like there's a ton of stuff in here that you can muck about with. So it's really hard for any one person to have all of the knowledge of Lotro. So there's never a dump. Well, I got out of your way the one way, dude. Elrond is a wise lord, but this elf isn't no one to go around. There we go. Yeah, so there's no way one person could know everything. So, we all share the knowledge in the chat and in gaming and in world chat. Sometimes world chat can be really, really useful. Yeah, so feel free to ask any questions here while you're hanging about and all of that. So let's see, Slack Jeff says, I used to play it when I realized, but sadly dropped it as I couldn't play two MMOs at the same time because you're addicted to WoW. But it's been so lovely revisiting it now. That's awesome. Well, I'm glad that you have found your way back. Yeah, it has some. There's definitely a lot of crossover between people who have played WoW and people who play Lotro. Yeah, I think one of the largest differences is kind of a mentality in the sense of with WoW, it from my understanding is the end game is the goal. Like whatever's happening, whatever's the newest thing, that's where excuse me, you're trying to get to, and everything else along the way is just tedium, stuff to get out of the way so you can get to the end game. But with Lotro, it really is very much of the journey is the goal. The journey is the game. So yeah. Slack Jeff has to jump off for the PC a bit, but we'll be back shortly. Awesome. Have a great time. Thanks for stopping in. Hopefully we'll see you again sometime, whether it's today or any other day. All right, I'm gonna grab a cough drop there and keep my throat lubricated. Hopefully. Oh, thanks for being such a nice host. You're welcome. Always welcome here at Heart of a Hobbit. We always try to keep the doors open and keep the food flowing virtually. Bum, 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 bum. So going back to Kiss Chaos mentioned about we were talking about the burglar, and you're saying you do want him noticed. That's why he's in a giant chef's hat and a package that is bulkier than his whole body. That's awesome. Before I was commenting to Nerobits about the Spanish translation, but I have a feeling that Nerobits was just popping in to say that and then ran away because I think I've seen this person do this before. Yeah, exactly, Sneakies. Don't be in a rush to get to end the game. Take your time and enjoy the story. Absolutely. That's what this game is about. Okay, so let's see. You know what? I was kind of just working my way down the list of the hunter changes because this is a good way to kind of look at it, right? So purge poison. We looked at that. No more animation. Makes us sad. But we can do it while we're moving. Yay! So you know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Blindside no longer creates focus, but that's okay. I didn't know it did anyway, so cool. Oh yeah, we're looking at the Orme's arrow. Or Orome's arrow. I'm not sure how you pronounce the best pronunciation of that. Oh, by the way, hopefully this won't affect any of you people, but I do have a grocery delivery coming today, and it has a large window, but they've narrowed my window down. It's really awesome. So I'm looking at the website, and they're due sometime between like 5 minutes after my stream and an hour and 5 minutes after my stream generally ends. So it's possible it'll arrive during the stream. Hopefully it won't, but there's a possibility that I may cut out for a minute. I'll put on my like be right back screen, and yeah. But so hopefully that won't happen. But if we go long, it might. So just a FYI there. Sapling. Chat GPT said yesterday. So Chat GPT, you know, it's a what do we call it? It's a makeup. It's a let's make thing up thing. So I don't put a lot of stock into whatever Chat GPT says because it'll either grab stuff from other sources, or if it can't find stuff from other sources, it just makes stuff up. So I don't tend to put any stock into what ChatGPT says. If not, at best, it's a way to kind of get you on the right track to finding the right answers. But I appreciate people find it useful for coming up with answers, regardless of whether they be accurate or not. I don't consider anything ChatGPT says to be accurate. Do your own look up your own stuff, man. All right, so Orome. Now the question though is it Orome or is it Orome or Orome? See. But yes, I agree though that Lotro is very immersive, and I do find it pretty low stress most of the time, and great for relaxation. I agree, and social connection. I agree with that also. So that's pretty awesome. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Thank you. Before says, I see how many mistakes that generative AI makes in subjects that I am familiar with, so I have to assume they make the same number of mistakes in subjects that I don't know anything about. There we go. Thank you. Good way to put it. Okay. Okay, so we were looking at Orome, and hunters gain a new skill for the purpose of corruption removal. Orome's arrow. Cool. This skill deals low damage. Okay. And removes an active corruption on your target. It costs 2 focus and has a 7-second cooldown. Okay. So yeah, so we're going to have that here as a reminder to use that as a corruption thing. Oh, welcome, Mustard, part of the Jeff Raid. Well, we're glad to have you here. Yeah, we're doing some Lotro stuff, checking out the updates to Hunter, and that is what I mainly tend to play. So I'm just kind of working my way through the update release notes and figuring out what has changed. Okay, Blood Arrow. Speaking of Blood Arrow, it's been adjusted to reduce the number of competing mechanics it interacts with. It's now primarily a healing skill, though traits can impact its focus cost and healing or damage done. It no longer cleanses corruptions, which is one of the ways I was using it. So now I'm glad we've got the Orome's arrow. It no longer has any interaction with exsanguate. So, okay. I mean, positive, negative, I'm not sure. The power cost has been increased slightly, but they note that power costs have been rebalanced across the class. So while Blood Arrow's cost is going up, your regular power drain from offensive skills should go down. So it should be all right. Okay, so we should be good there. So there's my Blood Arrow. Got that on the thing. You know, I don't need that on there twice. We'll just do that. Cry of the Hunter. Rawr! That's the one that no longer dazes enemies. The daze is a bonus effect granted by legendary tracery. That's why we came by the tracery place. Run, speed, potency. Oh, okay. So basically, when you use Cry of the Hunter, it shakes off daze of stuns, roots, and fellowship maneuver stuns on you. And you can recover from being knocked down, but not from dread or full immobilize. But it also grants a damage preventing bubble, granting you almost 30,000 temporary morale at my 150 level here. Inductions cannot be set back while bubble exists. And it also gives a plus 20% run speed. Now, I think the 20% run speed only applies to you. I don't think it's a fellowship thing, because hunters do have that fellowship thing. But yeah, okay, so we've got that. Before it says, with that skill, would you say that you get knocked down, but you get up again? That's right. Ain't nobody gonna keep me down. So, Commander Argo says, Orme is pronounced Oro May? Orome? Yeah, and hunter changes were quite abrupt. Well, and extensive, really. I mean, I knew they were working on Hunter. We knew this, and they, had it on Bull Roar a few times and all of that, but I hadn't honestly been paying too close attention. I knew, because I didn't want to get my heart set on things, and I don't, anyway, I was just gonna, some people, plus there was like 20 odd pages of comments in the forums about it, and I'm like, I'm just not gonna engage with that. I'm too tired for that. So I figured I'll just deal with it whenever they come out with it. Yeah. Before in Sapling, you're talking about which games they find like relaxing or whatever. That's funny. Before it says, I think I love Valheim, for instance, but I have very different experience regarding stress levels, depending on if I'm sitting in my base and cooking or crafting and farming, or if I'm running around in the Ashlands. And I feel the same way about Lotro. I was thinking about that when I was saying that, because it's like, there's times when we'll be doing an instance, or we're in a very tricky and overfilled space with lots of enemies, and it's like having to get through there, and I'm like, yeah, but then, yeah, other times when I'm like, just doing this is very chill and relaxing and whatnot. Yeah, so Commander Argo says, I ran a Redline Hunter. What I miss is the stance buffs we got and melee stuns taken away. Yeah, so the stances being removed is like a real surprise for me. So kind of like, wow, all right. Wasn't expecting that, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll just, what? We're just gonna roll with it. Okay, so we looked at Cry of the Hunter. Oh, okay. The bubble potency is 15% of your maximum morale. So that's nice. The run speed also used to be apparently 10%. Now it's 20%. So I think the idea with Cry of the Hunter is that you get unstunned and you get yourself out of there. So you've got that 20% run speed, so you can run away faster, and you've got a big boost of extra morale, but the bubble duration used to be 30 seconds, and it's now only 7 seconds. So it definitely seems to me like this is a quick boost to get yourself up and get out of there. Yeah. So, okay. Beneath notice, we were talking about this a little bit before The cooldown has been reduced from 5 minutes down to 1 minute, so you can use it every minute. And the effect changed from minus 60% threat to minus 45 because the baseline value for DPS spec is now 0.05. Sorry, 0.5. Not 100% sure what that means, but basically they changed it so your perceived threat is less, but they have reasons why they think that's fine. All right, intent concentration. Where's my intent concentration? No. Here it is. In a desperate time, instantly reach full focus. I guess this could live over here. Kind of rearranging things at this point. Okay. So intent concentration. Oh, they reduced the cooldown. Okay, so it used to be 3 minutes, now it's 2 minutes. So it goes fast. You can get it faster. It adds 9 to your focus, so that's nice. And it costs 202 power. Okay. Let's see. Commander Argo was talking about using strength stance and stuff. It says, I like that find the path is now 25% on every line now. Yeah, I did read about something about find the path. They were just... Actually, no, I was watching a video by Aubrey the Weird. That was before it came out. It was when they were still testing it. But yeah, there was something about that, about they were changing the way that Find the Path was working, which I don't have on here. Oh yeah, I do. It's right there. Okay. Which is the next one. Find the Path. Okay, Find the Path now increases movement speed by 25% by default. This is an area of effect buff, and it only improves your out-of-combat run speed. It has no impact on in-combat. I think it was always like... I thought it was always out of combat. But yes, so honey, I can't increase my I can't increase our Find the Path to 30% like we could before. So, just FYI. Yeah, before and I run around together, and he's usually playing a minstrel, and I'm usually playing a hunter. And so I would often spend points over in the blue to make Find the Path go faster. But now apparently it's a whole different skill, so we'll come back to that. Okay, so but the base of it was like 10%, I think, and then you could boost it up to like 30% or something like that. So yeah, so 25 is just what we get. 25 is nice though. I mean, that seems significant, really. Okay. The campfire, the bright campfire. It was so funny. I was reading this earlier. It only lasts for 60 seconds now, but it provides significantly increased regeneration values. Well, the funny thing is, I never use that. I never put it down, except when I'm role playing. Sometimes we'll put a fire down, like when we're standing around or whatnot. And it seems like a nice thing to do. And so it's kind of amusing to me that it'll go away faster because then there's less roleplay opportunity with it. So, oh well. But yes, so that exists. Let's see, focus skill over here. Okay. Yeah, before I underused the campfire, but it'd be useful in those missions where you have to stand your ground against waves. Yeah, but I don't know that you can put it out during... Can you put it out during combat? Let's see. Build a campfire to quicken allies' recovery. Enable some crafting skills. Duration 1 minute. Yeah, it gives... Okay, maybe you can put it down in combat, but it only provides non-combat power regen and non-combat morale regen. So it would only be good in between waves. If you could get it out and then have it there in between waves, I guess that would kind of be useful. Okay, the focus skill, focus, somewhat ironic. More than 25% is just too exaggerated, so sapling for the running, I'm guessing you mean? Yeah. Okay, so the focus skill no longer becomes improved focus at level 66. Okay. The buff conferred by improved focus was always a bit awkward. Well, they have a whole paragraph here. Hang on. It gave you a big damage boost, but only for a few skills in a quick opening burst, and it required you to channel focus beforehand. It was arguably not strong in PvMP, where an opening burst sometimes begins and ends a fight, and too weak in PvE environment, where your opening 5-second burst is often just a tiny fraction of a combat encounter's total time. I do agree with that, and frustrating to use on landscape, where you're free to channel focus as much as you want, but stopping to do it before every pull becomes tedious. Agree with that 100%. So I'm not sure how to go forward, because what I used to do, is I would use camouflage, because that gives me some of it. Let's see, I do camouflage and focus. It says before combat, rapidly increase your focus. Focus required to use both skills and is lost if you move. Yep. So it would add some focus. And then I would do burn hot. Yeah, burn hot. Which like increased how hard you hit things. And then I would shoot, like the main things. So, yeah, I'll just have to change my playstyle. But you know what? I've changed my playstyle before, so that's fine. Oh, Arabani says it was good back then, the fireplace, in vanilla and Moria, but not much since. Fair enough. When you say vanilla, you mean like Eriador, like the first expansion, or when the game started. So, Commander argues use Burn Heart and Elder's Grace in combination. I don't think we've got Elder's Grace yet. Oh, vanilla Shadows of Mordor. Okay, sure. The Shadows of yes, Shadows of Angmar. SOA. Not Mordor. The other server. Sapling asks, are there fewer hunter skills now? I don't think so. I just haven't gone through my trait tree yet and gotten all my skills. I'm being really slow about it, is what I'm saying. Sorry. Okay, so we've done that. I've looked through the basic. So exact same number? I don't know. Sapling, I actually don't know on that one. I don't know how many we had before, and I don't know how many we have coming up. The Lotro Wiki might have some of that information. I don't know, somebody in chat who's been paying more attention to the forums might also know. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the trait specializations, because that's where I'm headed to next. So I have gone ahead and chosen Redline again, because I was playing Redline before, and I want to stick with it for now. Although I will put together blue and yellow, I think. So there's this thing on the side here that I didn't notice for first few years I was playing. These little tabs, there's a 1 and a 2, and I just paid attention to that. And then there's this third one. And you can spend 100 mithril coins if you want to buy another tab. And apparently, it's not just once. Like, you can do a whole bunch of times, is my understanding. So if those ever go on sale, I think I'll buy a third one at least. So I can have a red, a blue, and a yellow, so I can like switch back and forth. The biggest thing to me, though, is that when they do updates, I don't keep up the lines I'm not playing. And so I end up having to kind of redo it when I get in there anyway. So I don't know if it's really worth it. But Commander Argo says blue line took the hardest nerfs. Red line is still viable. Yellow line is doable, but really has to be set up with your legacies to be viable. Okay. I mean, I've heard a lot of different opinions on what they think on all of this. But I figure, I'm familiar with Redline, and so we're going to go back with that for now, and I'll adapt to the new changes. And then see, because what it used to be, right, was like, for me, the way I looked at it was Redline was my stand still but do a lot of damage. Blue line was mobile, but you do a little less damage. And then Trapper of Foes was a lot more with the crowd control um, but playing around with some really fun stuff. So I do enjoy all the fun stuff that you can get over in Yellow Line. So I might actually give that a try and see Yellow's crowd control combined with the basic hunter skills. Is that kind of interesting? Because I think it's also, I'm not sure if Yellow is as mobile as Blue or not. I'm not sure. Commander Argo, maybe you know how mobile you can be with Yellow Line. Because I'm for like Red Line, you've got so many inductions that it like you had to stand still for. I assume that's pretty much still the case. We'll see. Okay, so looking at the release notes. So Arabani says the gameplay has changed a lot for every line, but from what I can see, it is not as dull as Minstrel changes. Sorry, honey. And there's still some fun in every Hunter line. And Commando Argo does point out that Red Line is also a solo build. But it's also really good in groups because I can stand still and be shooting at things while we have a tank or somebody else who's getting the aggro. Or, I start from a distance and I'm getting some of the aggro, but it's taking them a long time to get to me, and then somebody else is doing damage. So I find the Red Line is not just a solo build. I find it really useful in groups too. But, I mean, it really just depends on how you play and what you enjoy doing. Really, that's what it comes down to, right? What do you enjoy doing? Okay. Arabani, boring. For the Bowmaster, that's the Red Line. The following changes aim to maintain the status quo of the resolute long-range archer, releasing a continuous stream of high-damage arrows as long as you're able to manage your focus and use inductions relatively uninterrupted. You may notice that several passive sources of induction reduction have been removed from the outline below. Passive induction reduction has crept up so high over the years that many Bowmaster hunters have grown accustomed to having at least 75 to 80% induction durations at all times. Yep. In these changes, we've pulled back on that a bit in exchange for higher direct damage, slowing down the flow of skill use a little bit in favor of more potent individual arrows. Well, that sounds nice. I can get on board with that. All right. Specializing in Bowmaster no longer grants the needful haste proc effect. That must have been one of the skills we got over here. No longer grants the skill pinning shot. Okay. Yeah, we got some other stuff coming though. I'm kind of curious about. Now grants the skill long shot. Is that what I got over here? I think that's that one. Yeah. Is a moderately new damaging skill, granting 3 focus. So it grants focus. That's fun. And a 25% chance to grant an additional 3 focus if it lands. It has a 1-second induction and a 7-second cooldown. That's not bad. Okay, I'll decide where I want to put that. Arabani says there's no need for crowd control in the game anymore. I still find there's times when crowd control is really useful. Maybe not all the time, but definitely, handy. So, Commander Argo feels that the upshot and long shot are kill shots. So that might be a good one to be like one of my openers. Cool. Okay, swift release. This trait has been removed. Shoot to kill. This trait's damage bonus has been increased from 5% to 10%. Okay, are we still look at these? True shot, critical eye, fast draw. Sorry, distracted. There's a spider on my monitor. Hi. You stay on that side, we're good. If you get on this side, you'll be on my way. That will be less ideal, okay? I don't know why you're on my monitor. There's no bugs over here. They're all over there. Well, hopefully he'll figure it out. All right. True shot. Well, we could just skip down to that. This trait now increases penetrating shot damage. It no longer grants or improves a critical vulnerability debuff, okay? Fair enough. Before is animating my conversation with the spider, as in I say there's no bugs over here, and the spider's like, you're welcome. Fair enough. Yes, before points out like tier 12 delving still benefit from crowd control. And we were doing a bunch of those for a while. And that was useful to take our time with that. Holy moly. Okay, so true shot increases penetrating shot damage. Cool. And penetrating shot is right here. And a damaging shot that pierces enemy mitigations. We like that. All right. Critical eye. Do you have anything to say about critical eye? It does not. All right, so maybe that means no changes, which is increasing my ranged critical chance, which we're always a fan of that. And fast draw says the quick shot buff granted by this trait now has a duration of 12 seconds, up from 6 seconds. So on each quick shot or long shot use, we have a minus percentage on bow inductions. So I'm definitely a fan on that. Yeah, before points out that Treebeard's level cap went up 25 levels, so it'll be a while before we can delve again. Also, Treebeard's closing, so we're gonna have to move our characters off of there anyway. And wherever we go with them, the cap is 150 on its way to 160. So, it's gonna be a while before those characters are delving. That's actually a good point, honey. FYI, those characters won't be delving for any time soon. So if we want to do delvings, we're going to need to do that here on Mary instead of over on Peregrine, where our we're planning to send our Treebeard mains over to Peregrine, but our Treebeard mains are currently like 110, which means that they'll be, needing to go from 110 to 160 before we can do delvings. And we're not planning to move ahead. And like those characters are our completionist questing characters, and so we're questing with some other folks, and we're going through each of the areas as a full completionist round. So like doing all the deeds and doing all the stuff, and okay. Yeah, before it says, okay, we'll slow tro with our mains, but our other characters are fair game. I mean, that's fair. That's a fair point. Yeah, okay. I do enjoy doing the delvings with you. That is fun. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, so that one, great. It's great. Why are you walking back? The spider's just walking back and forth across part of my, like the top of my monitor. Like, and then dips back, and then comes back up and walks around and dips. Like, I don't know what you're doing, dude. I mean, if you're making a web bed, that's not an ideal place for that. Just FYI. All right, well, let's go ahead and put some points in here. All right, so now we've got shoot to kill. Is that, yeah, this trait's damage bonus has been increased from 5% to 10%. So that increases my ranged damage. Oh, that's nice. Awesome. Oh yeah, and Sapling points out that now you can move while doing quick shot, so that's really cool. I am happy about that. It's a low damage though compared to some of the other stuff. Okay. What else do we open up here? We opened up draw weight. I don't think anything's changed with that, has it? I don't think so. Which is increases damage for bow skills that generate focus. That's one of my favorites because a lot of my stuff generates focus. And swift and true. Swift and true. It is a little different. It says the bonus effect granted by rank 5 of this trait has changed. Okay, so what it does normally is it increases your swift bow damage, and it's increasing by 6% each time. But the last rank, it only goes up by 1 more percent, but each arrow loosed by swift bow gains a 30% chance to generate an additional focus. This chance is reduced to 10% when specialized in the huntsman. Okay, so you can still, if you buy into this via the huntsman, it doesn't give you 30%, it gives you 10%. But still, okay. Bum, bum, bum. And Commander Argo and Sapling are having a great conversation discussing some of the different things in the chat. Um, and I don't think I'm going to try and keep up with that conversation, but I'm glad you guys are having that. Okay. So, Swift Bow. That's this guy? No, that's Blood Arrow. That's Orme. First, oh, there we go. Swift Bow is my number 2. Oh, that's the one where you do 3 missiles. Boom, 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 real fast. So this is the one that increases that damage. And the induction on that is nothing, right? Oh, no, it's 1.8 seconds. And it has a 10-second cooldown. But I use it pretty regularly, so. Okay, so let's go ahead and put some points out here so we can see what the next level is. Okay, this is new, I think. This Bow of the Righteous. This doesn't look familiar. I wonder if it just looked different before. Maybe they, I don't know, something's different about it. But they say it no longer grants a new skill. It adds to the effects of Bow of the Righteous to intent concentration. So it puts it on intent concentration. So it basically now allows intent concentration to, intent concentration restores power on bow skills for a short time. So it causes your bow skills to restore on hit plus 400 power. So that would be this guy would restore more power than it currently does. So I don't know. Rain of Arrows. I assume they didn't do much to this, but let's take a look. Is it listed? Rain of Arrows. The cooldown has been reduced from 12 seconds to 6 seconds. Yeah? Awesome, because I love using Rain of Arrows. It's one of my favorites. Alright. Alright, let's put some more points in something so we can open up the next level. Okay. So now we've got Hemorrhaging Shot. Did we have that before? To be honest, I didn't pay a lot of attention to the stuff on the side before. I know, I'm terrible. So let's see. Increases the critical damage of all bow attacks. So I've got plus 10% critical damage of all bow attacks. Yay. And then the next one coming is Strong Draw. With enough practice, any technique can become second nature. Minus 1 penetrating shot focus cost. Oh yeah, that's always nice. So that's this one down here. Yeah. And that's the one that bypasses physical, well, some physical mitigation. Reduces mitigations. So that against me, that's nice. Okay. So let's see. Strength. With stances removed. Oh, right. Yeah. This trait is now a simple passive bonus granting ranged damage. So it just gives me a strong arm, improves the damage of your range skills. So it gives me plus 2% range damage or plus 4% range damage. Okay. Because it used to go with strength stance, I believe. Yeah. And now it's just like whatevs. Okay, we have Mercy Kill. It now grants 5 to 15% merciful shot damage and 2.5 to 10% critical damage. So your merciful shot is better aimed at your target's weak points, causing it to deal more damage, especially when it critically hits. So it's yeah, it adds to the merciful shot critical damage and the merciful and huntsman shots damage. So, that's good. And then Bodkin arrows. Is that new or is that there before and I just forgot about it? Alright, maybe it was already there. It increases damage for bow skills that require an induction. And golly, if that isn't just a lot of them. So, alright. We have gotten into Swift Mercy, which is Swift Bow. So this guy down here, yep. Gains a chance to make Merciful Shot usable regardless of your target's health. And yeah. And I don't think Swift Mercy changed their... No. But what do we got here? Now we've got the Hunter's Blood, which is the blood arrow, right? Um, and any new things with Hunter's Blood? Yeah. 4 ranks. Oh, just 4. Okay. Each rank grants plus 20% blood arrow damage, excuse me, minus 2% initial heal potency, and minus 20% power cost. So that's cool. Yeah, plus 80% blood arrow damage. Hello. That would be awesome. So we'll put some more points in there in a minute. Deadly precision. I don't think that's changed, does it? Doesn't look like it. On every harmful skill on critical hit, you get +1 focus. Whatever. Storm of arrows. Yes. Each target critically hit with rain of arrows has a 50% chance to reduce the skill's cooldown, becoming 100% at tier 2. That's my favorite. And Storm of Arrows, with its longer base cooldown, this is the changes. The active cooldown reduction for this trait has been reduced from 2 seconds to 1 second per critically hit target. So that's, yeah, I do like that. So, you guys can keep talking in the chat. I just couldn't keep up. I can't keep up. It's okay. Let's see. We did that. Let's keep working on this one. I'm going to put another point there anyway. Let's see. Heartseeker comes very soon. And I like Heartseeker. In for the Kill has 2 ranks. The first rank of this trait now grants the Heartseeker bleed. Okay, implies the bleed there. Okay. And each rank increases all damage over time by 5%. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So rank 1, it applies a bleed. For me, that's 2,000 damage every 1 second for 10 seconds. And then 5% damage over time, and then 10% damage over time. Yeah, that's good stuff. Longshot, that's that new guy. This has 3 ranks, and it increases Longshot's damage and increases the bonus focus chance for each one of its ranks. Cool. Yeah, sure, we'll jive on that. We'll give that a try. Upshot. What's Upshot? Upshot's cooldown has been increased 15 seconds to 20 seconds. It now uses a focus cash out multiplier to deal its bonus damage based on the amount of focus consumed. This does not change the potency of the focus damage multiplier, but it does mean that when you are at full focus, regular plus damage buffs will improve Upshot's damage by a value closer to what you'd expect, as all those additive plus damage effects will no longer be diluted by the large multiplier from focus. It also means you will not see the damage of Upshot change on its tooltip at various focus levels. The bonus damage is now only calculated at the moment the skill is used. Okay. Remember to pick up Press Onwards. Did I pass it already? I don't think I passed it yet. Isn't Press Onwards over in another... Isn't it over here somewhere? Yeah. Yeah. I haven't even gone looking over at Blue Line today yet. But thank you for the reminder. I do enjoy... I do enjoy having that. Usually I pick up Press Onward and I get set the traps. I get as many of the traps as I can. Where is the yellow trap, the tripwire? We were talking about that earlier. That maybe it's disappeared? I don't know, we'll come back to that. Okay, and then the last one over here on red is plant feet. And I don't see anything about that. So that is the, yeah, while inducting you take minus 20% damage. Hello. Big fan of that one. All right, well, let's finish putting some points out here. Focus builder, skill, damage, yeah, we like that. I think I have enough points to be able to get most of what I want. Oh, we forgot to look over here. Let's see, Burn Hot. Drawing on deep reserves, you let fly with great strength and precision. So it's plus 46% range damage and plus 25% ranged skill power cost. Burn Hot. It says Burn Hot. Swapping places with Hidden Stalker. This trait grants you the skill Burn Hot, making it a Bowmaster exclusive. Default potency has been increased from 20% to 30%, and the default cooldown has been reduced from 2 minutes to 1.5 minutes. And then the last thing we have down here is Marksman. Heartseeker and Upshot cooldowns are reduced by a certain amount for every critical and devastating hit, which I do like that. Okay. Did I finish putting points and everything I wanted to make sure I got? What did we say? Bow of the Righteous. I don't care about that. We'll come back to it if I have lots of points. But oh, and Penetrating Shot, though. We are going to go ahead and do that. Because, yes. And Deadly Precision, +1 focus. I mean, I guess that's how I replace that stance that doesn't exist anymore, right? Alright, let's apply this real quick before I, forget what I'm doing. Because it's going to give me a whole bunch of buttons. And... Screenshots, yes. Yeah. So I have screenshots from before where I had my buttons, and that just helps me to, I like it when things are where I'm looking for them to be. Now, I mean, I'm not adverse to changing things up a little bit, but it's easier if I can have things close to where they were. Yeah, Commander Argo says it's definitely worth buying the other tabs, one for each line. Well, yeah, I mean, I'm definitely open to that. I've thought about that definitely multiple times. My biggest thing is that, like I was saying earlier, that when they do an update to the line, I don't go back in and update my other tabs. And so they get further and further and further out of date. So then by the time I do want to use them for some reason, I'm like, oh, wait, I got to take 10 minutes. I got to update my stuff, right? And it's like, blah. So, okay, so hang on. Let me make sure I've got things close to where I want them. Yes, but no. But did I lose some things? I gained some things that I wasn't expecting. Alright, well, this guy, where did I have him stashed? Well, now I can't even find him. But that's good. I want to use that. Alright, I may end up having to rearrange, but I do like having this one on 8, so I'm going to swap that over here to 8 at least. It's because this guy's new, and he's my Orme's arrow, and it's throwing me off completely. Also, I don't have... What was that one called? That duo one with 2 arrows. Alright, we'll come back to that. Remember to max out bodkin arrows. Did I miss it? Oh, this one? I didn't do it all the way. You're right. Thanks. Okay. Spider's back. Everybody says I kind of like the melee interaction of Blue Line, but it feels weird on landscape. The issue is if you stay back there and you miss those melee things, and if you run in, you just waste your time since mobs could be dead already. Well, yeah, that's... I mean, I like having a few melee skills because sometimes we'll be in combat and they come to me, and so then I like being able to go bap bap. Split shot, thank you. And it's over... Okay, it's over there. I do often have that one as well. So yeah, where's the... There used to be another melee skill here that was like, bap bap. That's missing. Okay, there's my Burn Hot though. Good, that got put back in the same place, so that's convenient. Interesting. Alright, we know over in Trapper of Foes, let's take a look at that real quick. So, Trapper of Foes, which is the yellow line. Excuse me. They made some changes. So these are the overall changes that they're talking about. So for Trapper of Foes, the following changes aim to overhaul the specialization into one capable of matching other true support specializations like Yellow Line Loremaster, Burglar, and Mariner. These changes should minimize the specialization's focus on traps and roots, which are both awkward to use in combat and functionally less useful than the abilities available to other classes. In their place, the Yellow Line Hunter now has greater access to more useful crowd control like stuns, mezzes, and knockdowns. What's a mez? Mesmerizing? And knockdowns delivered with more range skills and more interaction with your focus resource. Specializing in this tree now grants the skill Pinning Shot. Oh, I can't buy it. That's sad. Specializing grants the skill Explosive Decoy. That's fun. Traps are no longer inductionless or usable on the move. What? Usable on the move is what makes it so fun. Specializing in the tree grants the skill King's Foil Knowledge. I'm not sure which that one was. Okay, so yeah, I know Rain of Arrows and Split Shot have some similarities, Commander Argo, but it was nice to have both of those in my pocket to be able to pull out one and use the other and so forth. Arabani's thing says blue-yellow is very tanky. Commander Argo says, I like the distracting shot in Yellow Line, but it's now deeper in Yellow Line where it was shallower before. And same with Pinning Shot. Okay, so if I want any of these fun things, what can I buy? So, Set Trap is still available to me. Have they changed anything with that? It's just, it gives the skill Set Trap. Okay, so I can get that again. So that's nice, because I do like having the Set Trap. It's fun. Determination. Did I have, what did I have? Oh, yeah. This should be on my picture. Oh, yeah, this has changed. I didn't have any points in that before, if it's the same thing. But I did have points in... Oh, little stirring pot. The problem is, you know, my picture doesn't have the names of them, so that's kind of sad. And I did have points in... Not that one. Oh, no. I got points in being able to run faster. And I did have points in Split Shot and in Quick Shot Focus before. So if I want to get to those, I'm going to have to buy my way up. Increases range damage. I mean, that's never a bad idea. Or increases damage over time. Ooh, that's a tough choice, actually. Let's see. Coolwitch says I like Pinning Shot as well. That's part of my new rotation after the change. Where did you get Pinning Shot from? Is that over here? That's Hindering Shot. Quick Escape. Determination. Oh, it's deeper in the Yellow Line, right? Yeah. Black Arrow. What's that one? Bard's Arrow. Your Bard's Arrow strikes terror in the heart of your target, reducing their incoming healing. That's not a worry of mine. Elusive. Increases evade chance. Combat traps. Increases trap damage and reduces trap cooldowns. But, you know, I mean, I get what they're saying, though. If they're, like, trying to reduce the amount of time I'm spending at the beginning of a combat to do setups, then I can see why, like, not having so many traps to be putting down at the beginning of a combat makes sense. So, yeah, I can kind of get that. Oh, here's Distracting Shot. Yeah, it's down. It's way down here. And previously it was... Where was it? I don't know, but I'm pretty sure I had it. I don't know where I got it from. But there's Distracting Shot. Shot that dazes the target. We've got blasting arrow loaded with fireworks into the air, dazing enemies at close range. Oh gosh, I haven't used that one in a long time. Or one like it. Survival gear, physical and tactical mitigation. Strength of the earth. Restores power and heals morale. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Bountiful purge. Purge poisons from many allies at once. That's nice. So interesting. Okay, so Arabani was saying that they feel like yellow line here is very much like Lore Master. And Commander Argo was saying that maybe it make them wonder if they're going to do away with Lore Master and give pets to hunters. I doubt that. That would be amazing. I would love having that, but I don't see that as happening. I was surprised at how they changed Lore Master so much, though, that there's one of the lines where you don't get any more pets, like Red Line maybe or something. I was like, huh, that seems strange because like Lore Masters having pets just seems like it's the whole thing, right? Like that's one of the reasons why you do Lore Master. But I don't know. Commander Argo feels like they're kind of turning Hunter into an immobile turret, doing AoE and DOT attacks. But Coolwitch likes pinning shot in landscape. It keeps single mobs away from me for a bit, and the mob's usually dead to me. It's dead to me. Dead before it gets to me. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. That's Rain of Thorns. Rain of Thorns is also nice. Allows you to pin multiple targets. Yeah, maybe I should play around with Yellow Line again sometime. I forgot how fun some of this stuff was. Let's see, steel mechanisms. Plus 1 second grace period for traps, Rain of Thorns, and blasting arrows. So it adds it up to 3 seconds. Improved distracting shot. And then we've got piercing arrow, and it also does damage over time, right? Wounds and dismays your foe, causing... Oh, good, the spider went to the wall. Causing subsequent ranged attacks to restore your morale for a brief time. Oh, okay. That's cool. Hey, Horn of Orome. Blow a hunting horn with the fury and conviction of Orome, inspiring allies and giving you courage when you need it most. So it gives you morale and power, removes disease, fever, wounds, poison, gives you fear resistance. And Hunter View, Orome's volley, loose multiple arrows at once. Okay. Yeah, so there's some questions about like, well, wasn't it kind of like a turret before? But Commander Argo says not really. Blue Line was very mobile. Red Line was more mobile with more melee ability. I found Blue Line was very mobile, and I stood still a lot with Red Line. But now that we can move a little bit, that'll be nice. Okay, so over on Blue, we've got damage over time, range damage, the press onward, which I do want to get up to, split shot, which is another one that I quite like having. Quick shot focus has a chance to generate an additional focus. May be useful. Perseverance, press onward, heal. Huntsman's blades. After using Huntsman's shot, you're adept at transitioning quickly to melee combat. This is what used to be giving you more speed, I believe. But now it says, this is the chase. Many enemies flee at the sound of your coming, and you have learned to hunt while giving chase. What does that mean? What does this mean? Tell me about Blue Line. Excuse me. What was it called? It was called the Chase, right? Yeah. So the Huntsman, the blue line, the main changes they've done there, aim to keep the gameplay distinct from Bowmaster. Fair enough. With no inductions and greater access to bleeds and melee damage, the Huntsman's playstyle should retain its focus on mobility and flexibility, with the ability to deal potent burst damage through a combination of bleed, cash outs, and rapid fire focus spender skills. Huntsman no longer has any skill inductions, so replacing a previous skill that allowed you to have inductions being used while on the move. Specializing in Huntsman reduces the range of your skills by 5 meters, though. Okay. And specializing in Huntsman no longer removes the mischance penalty on movement. This trait is now buyable in the trait tree, the Chase. Mischance penalty on movement. Oh. Yeah, Commander Argo says the blue line is hit and run. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, that definitely. So that's really funny because I feel like, and I know earlier somebody was saying that like red line is solo. For my play style, blue line is solo because hit and run is my solo style, and stand and shoot is my group play style. Improved intent concentration, which brings the cooldown. Strong arm, percent plus 2% focus, consuming skills damage. Okay. Close quarters. Additional melee damage and bleed damage. Oh, sorry, bleed removal bonus damage. Let's see. Strength of blood. This is Blood's Arrow. Applies an additional latent heal. Heals 5% of max morale over time. Okay. Volley. I've had that before. Was that earlier on, perhaps? Maybe not. I'm not sure. Oh, there's Exsanguinate. Leaves the target bleeding. Looks like it's its own skill now, perhaps. And Relentless. Huntsman's Shot and Merciful Shot deal additional damage to bleeding targets. Wounded Prey. Merciful Shot deals additional damage if your target is already suffering from a lingering wound. And Rapid Fire. Bow skills that cost focus to use no longer have a cost. Okay, so Sapling kind of is the same thought process as me. That red line feels more team-oriented. Blue line feels more solo-oriented. And then Cool Witch says, I'm the odd person out. I like yellow for solo. I mean, okay, so I remember, especially when we were doing the thing where you add additional... Hang on, let me apply and close this thing. What's this? Not that. Yeah, difficulty. Adding the difficulty levels, the slider where you go talk to the troubled wanderer. That's not what he's called. The guy who leans on things. And you can be like, hey, I want to make my things this much harder. And so I had signed up for that. And yeah, I was running around by myself. Because maybe I was still in the introduction or something. Anyway, yellow line was great for that. Because I was able to like put down a decoy, and then it's attacking that, and then I could shoot at them from the distance. You know, it's like that's how I got by the like the midges or whatever. It's like I'm trying Hardened Traveler, thank you. I'm like just trying to get away from the flying bees and stuff, whatever that was attacking me, and I'm like So yellow line was great in like the early levels to keep me out of trouble. All right, so I guess I have to make decisions here, and I don't know what do I want. Damage over time is good, but just damage in general is good. So maybe I'll just get some of this real quick. Problem is it costs 2 points, right, for each one. So it's because for those who aren't aware, this is the points that I'm spending down here, and in the line that you've chosen, each step costs you 1 point. But if you're going into any of the other lines, either of the other ones, it costs you 2 points per thing, per click. So, you got to kind of plan it out a little bit. Otherwise, you'll run out real fast. Okay, so quick shot focus. That wasn't what I was going for, was it? It was split shot that I really like. So I definitely want to get that. And we're going to get a bunch of that. Press onward. That was the other one I wanted. And press onward heal. When I need it really badly. So we're just going to max that out. I don't need it often, but when I do, I need all of it. Yeah. Everybody says red looks boring to me. Just stand and shoot. I can see that. Yeah, it's what I'm familiar with, and it's what I'm comfortable with. But it is funny because every so often I'll get really comfortable and familiar with something else. Like I'll start working on something else, and then I'll play it for a while, and then I get really comfortable with that, and then I go to switch back to something. I'm like, I don't know how to do this at all. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, the decoy doesn't last long, like 3 seconds. Yeah, maybe, but then you can skill it up to so it lasts for what, 30 seconds, a minute, something like that, or until it runs out. Oh, and I like how it explodes. You can get it so that it explodes and does damage when it explodes. That's fun. Okay, so what else? I've still got 14 points that I can spend here. Ba-ba-bum. Do I have barbed arrow? I don't think I do, right? That's not one of the things I got. Alright, so I guess we're not putting much in yellow anymore because I can't get to that other trap that I like. Hordraric says, hi everyone. Hi, welcome. We are playing around with the trait trees for Hunter, working on my Hunter after the updates from Lotro. Now, sometimes I do enjoy getting into melee, although I've got to find out what is that skill that I used to really like? Where did it go? There was like, where is it? For told, ask, is your server laggy? It is not. I'm not having any problems with lag. Although I'm not like running around either, so let's see. Blood arrow heals more morale over time. That could be useful. Because when I do use it for that sort of thing, that can be useful. What else? Commander Argos is saying Peregrine's having some lag problems. Oh, that's too bad. I noticed we were having lag issues when there were so many transfers, and a lot of people were coming to Mary who really wanted to be over on Orcrist, but Orcrist wasn't available. And it felt like it got really laggy for us for a little while, but it seems like it's gotten better again. Don't know where else I want to spend these points, so I'm going to just leave it at that for the moment. Alright, let's go attack some things. Let's see how this goes. Oh, I do need to keep an eye on the time. Actually, give me a second. Let me see if there's an update on the grocery delivery. Okay. Yeah, it's due not specifically during the stream, but if I do stay on a little extra long, then it will be. Oh. Okay, well that doesn't actually... We'll just walk through this, though, because... Yeah. It's fine. Oops. Oh, what's my UI skin? Hang on just a second. Let me turn this down a little. I am using the JRR Skins collection, and this particular one is. Oh, yeah. JRR Delving Hills Wide 2. So that's, yeah, I like using that one a lot. Yep, there we go. Over at Lotro Interface, they have a whole lot of plugins and add-ons and whatnot that you could do, including UI skins. Now, I think there was probably a heyday of UI skins that there were a lot of people who were designing them and spending time making them. And then I think that kind of like people come and go, and you know, you get excited about a project and then you kind of like stop working on it. So I think that may have happened because I think then the person who does the JRR skins now, I think they took a lot of the skins that existed and maybe kind of made it more, you know, kind of homogenized it in a way, so that, like, for example, if I go to the auction house, there's a thing on the back. If I go to the forge, like all of the windows basically have some stuff. Oops. Oh no, there we go. Like that. You know what I mean? So like, and I don't know that all of the skins had all of that excitement stuff. Yeah, maybe it is a little laggy all of a sudden. So anyway, I think they may have like tidied it up so they all had, like, you know, stuff. So they've been managing that for a while, I think. Anyway, so yeah, you can find that information over on Lotro Interface with that link. But I have I noticed that there was like the file has gotten, they're maintaining so much of it that basically and adding new skins from time to time, like they just added another new one. So the bundle is now over, well, they've got a link to where they're keeping the bundle because it doesn't fit on Lotro Interface anymore. But I did get it from, like, the update. I got the update from that other website, so it's fine. You don't need to worry about, like, is it okay or not. It seems to be fine. So, hey, Kelbler. Oh, we are talking. Oh yeah. Fairdold is saying the last update made things kind of laggy. I saw some people talking in world chat here on Mary about that. So it's possible that Mary is also having some lag issues, and just because I was just standing around not doing anything, I wasn't being affected by it. All right, let's turn that in. Oh yeah, how am I doing on tokens? Oh yeah, we got plenty of space. All right, number 2 does involve some combat, so let's go do that. Let's see how it is. Okay. So about 15 minutes ago, Cord posted, we have made changes to the back end of Glamdring to improve performance and get more data. If performance improves on Glamdring, we'll be rolling this out to their server shortly. Oh, excellent. Okay. Oh, yeah. Commander Argo says, I still use Titan Bar? Heck yeah. I love Titan Bar. I use the heck out of that. Okay. So, now, I don't necessarily have these set up in a way that makes sense. Well, that did seem to go faster. Oh yeah, the Lotro compendium is really useful, right? Lotro compendium, I always get them mixed up. Oops, let me get out of this box. I do not wish to be there. Okay, so I think I might want to rearrange some stuff on my bars. Because I think I don't need... Alright, let's push this over. I'm still on difficulty, so I get that blocked from time to time. or I would take additional damage, and I do not wish to take additional damage. Alright, we're going to pop that there. Yeah, I'm totally going to rearrange some stuff. Holy moly. And we'll swap those guys. Oh, I don't even have my fast feet on. Now I do. Let's do some rain of arrows. Oh, yeah, I'm taking damage, though. Hey. Alright, we can do another rain of arrows. That comes back around fast. That's nice. Okay, so I don't think I want this quite so accessible, but I do want that pretty accessible. So we're going to scooch that over. And rain of arrows goes back here. Oh, but this one's up here. Alright, I'm going to have to keep fussing with it, you know. So normally after me, B4 does stream and he does plugin development, but he is only with a laptop right now, and so it's much easier on a desktop. So he won't be streaming his plugin along stream until probably the end of August. But definitely those of you guys who are enjoying chatting about plugins, all you peoples, definitely make sure you come back at the end of the month, or end of August or beginning of September, and you can catch B4 talking a lot more about plugins. And now it's definitely from a plugin development perspective, but you know, there's also times when maybe you've got questions about, well, how does this work, and why does this do what it does, and he definitely has insight into that kind of a thing. All right, so let's see if I do just a... Oh, I can't. Let's see. Maybe if I throw in some focus and just do a straight up rain of arrows, how does it go? I'm gonna have to find out what that skill was called and where is it, if it's gone, or what's the scoop. Okay, that I was able to do. Maybe I should move my stuff so it's like induction, no induction, because at the moment I'm not actually sure what I have to stand still for, what I don't. Well, here, we'll do a little press onward. Okay. Well, I guess I could have just used a blood arrow on the next thing. So, any skills that take induction will be grayed out. So all of these are the inductions ones, but that has an induction. It's not grayed out. That has an induction. Yeah, I don't think that... You mean, oh, that I can't do while I'm... That I have to be standing still might be grayed out? I don't know. That... I'm kind of confused now. There we go. Bum, bum. Oh, Roderick was wondering where to find that post that about what Cord had said. Before I saw it on the official Lotro Discord server. But it is also on the forums. I feel like they try to do both these days, that they try to hit the Discord and then they also try to hit the forums when they have announcements like that. Yeah, for those of you who are using the decoy, the deadly decoy, there is a plugin for that, and it kind of like, now it may need updating with the updates, I don't know, but it will give you like a timer, a visual of what, of well, how long until the deadly decoy explodes. Hi. I have a cat who's like keeps changing where she's laying against me. All right. Well, I feel like that did go better. Like, I felt like I was more capable of, taking stuff out. I definitely took a lot more damage than I expected, so that's interesting. Oh, honey, my tokens of heroism are capped. If you want to do something about that after I'm done streaming. My current character here, I think, has done everything with tokens. Oh, there he is. With tokens of heroism. Yeah, I would say this is a little laggy. I don't normally have to wait to talk to this guy. And he usually starts walking right away. So, yeah, I would say there's a little lag going on. That wasn't there previously, and I don't think it's my computer. Oh, right on. You are correct. I'm on Mariadoc. Thanks for the reminder. Okay, so what happens if I do this? I'm stealthy. And maybe a little burn hot action. Cool. Oh, what? There's still one left. You should not be left. Interesting. Well, yeah. It's better than it was, for sure. Yeah, you're right, honey. I am not maxed with Paths of Valor on here. I don't know what I was thinking. I was thinking I was on Treebeard, that's why. Rain of Arrows actually does more. Yeah, we're definitely getting some lag. Oh, I don't need to do that. I'll put it down over here and see if I can... That was in a different spot. I need to figure out where I had that and move that. Oh, I think it was here. Let me scooch that over and scooch this down here. Yeah, I kind of missed the yellow one. Where'd that go? The tripwire. Tripwire was great. I love it when we're working with, like, not giants, but like trolls, because they're very susceptible to being tripped. It's fantastic. Which one's Elder's Grace? You said Elder's Grace is an elf trait. Which one's Elder's Grace? Alright, now we wait a minute. Hobbit missing. Oh, that's what, okay. Oh, Hunter Focus plugin that'll let you see how much focus you have, and that's via Elder's Grace. 75% parry chance, 5% partial parry mitigation. No, but I missed Tripwire. I'm going to have to see if there's more information about what happened to that. Like, maybe it's only a yellow line exclusive now? Or did they just get rid of it entirely? Because that was super handy for some crowd control when, like, if I was being attacked by, yeah, well, like this guy, Mr. Trippable. These guys are trippable giants also. And, yeah. Yeah. Oh, well. Let's see. Oh, no, I had my traps in the top corner. That's where I had them. Let me put that back up there. I'll just scooch that there and scooch that there, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. I'm going to have to get used to this all over again. That's okay. Tripwire was a level of 45 yellow line. Yes, but I used to be able to get it on red line. Like I had traded points into it or something. Because I had both of them. I had the red one and the yellow one next to each other. And that was really handy. Yep. I've been discovered. Oh no. See, like I would put one down on him right there before he even had a chance to touch me. Which was pretty neat. But that went a lot faster. Alright, I would say, just on my small test here, that, yeah, I'm being more effective as a hunter now. So that's awesome. And this is my level 150 hunter. Oh, oops, he's not ready for me. Okay, so after this we're going to run over to the mountains so I can go turn in my tokens of heroism. Okay, yeah. Where is that? This guy. Thorns Hall. That's another plugin, Travel Window 2. Love it. If we're talking plugins. I use a lot of plugins, though. I really like them. I've got the UI skins, so I can have this pretty skin. I've got Titan Bar up there. I've got Travel Window 2 over here. And then for a whole lot of other things, so I've got like Deed Tracker. I've got Lotropad to make little notes. I've got Poetical for doing lyrics, and I've got Songbook to go with that. Those two go great together. I've got Festival Buddy 2 for when we're doing festivals, and then I've got Alt Inventory. Kiki Inventory is also really great. I'm just familiar with Alt Inventory, and so it's just what's most comfortable for me, so that's the one I use. So here's something I discovered. So these virtue experience things, right? So this one says it's worth 50. I take that, and I got a little thing that says I got 3 bonus virtue XP. There's not a bonus weekend going on. It's because I'm on the Paths of Valor with this guy that I'm able to get extra stuff. Okay, so when I'm here, not to change my difficulty, but to do these tasks, which are tokens of heroism. The first one costs you 10, and you get 3 marks. That's the best one for return.
How can I be of service?
The second one costs you 20, and you get 5. So we'll turn that in. And then the last one costs 30, and you get 7. So we'll turn those in.
What do you need?
So I get reputation with this guy for turning those in. And then I can use those tokens that I've been buying, that I've been earning from him by turning these tokens into him, is I can then buy reputation. So I can get more reputation with this guy. I can buy potions of morale or power. I can take an elixir of heroism, which helps me to increase the rate at which I'm getting these tokens of heroism. But really what I'm here for are the emotes. So there's different emotes that you can get. Epic Shiver, Epic Succumb. Here, let me see. Let me just pull some of these up. So, Epic. So each one of these is based off of a regular emote, but it's epic in some way. So like this one's got like a little thing shows up on your head. Hero pose, it's all like, you can see how it's kind of like emitting a light off of it, a very bright light off of that. That's the hero pose, epic version. Lecture, this is the epic lecture. I think there's like sparkly things going around by you. Epic resist, your arms go out and then you, yeah. Epic roar, look at that, like there's flames and stuff coming out. Epic salute, it makes it all sparkly and shiny stuff going on. Epic shiver, you've got cold coming off of you. And epic succumb has the purple stuff around you. So I want to get these emotes. So like the epic lecture, kind of I feel like something's missing there because there's, well, of course, getting regular lecture is going to be hard. Oh, now I'm just like causing problems. Yeah. All right. Well, it's decided it's not playing anymore. Um, but anyway, so getting the other lecture is going to be hard for me to get. So, because it's through storyline stuff, that's really far away. But if I could just get it like through the Paths of Valor, that'd be easier. But Shiver and Succumb are the ones I can get right now. So they are reputation locked. I need more reputation to get this one. Your standing is too low. Oh, okay. Thank you, Arabani. There's a ghostly paper in front of you when you do epic lecture. So anyway, I want to get some of these for role playing purposes, but I don't have enough standing with these folks. Honestly, I probably should try to get the regular lecture one because that's probably would be more appropriate for role playing. But I need to complete chapter 6 of the Black Book of Mordor. I am nowhere close to that with this character. So that's something I'm, kind of working on. So, anyway, all right. Well, I think we are actually coming close to the end of today's stream for me. Oh, but I was going to point out, sorry, that because I'm on the Paths of Valor with this guy, even just level 3, when I consume virtue experience, I get a plus 3% to it, or sorry, plus 5% bonus virtue XP. So like that 100 I just did, I got 105, for example. So that's really cool. And so you don't have to wait for a virtue XP weekend in order to, in order to use those and get that bonus. So just FYI for any of you who are doing that, because the bonuses don't stack. The VIP, the bonus virtue experience weekend. I tried using stuff on that same time, and it was the same. It was at plus 5%. So it did not stack to be 5 plus 5. So just FYI on that. All right. Well, if anybody has anything left that they want to bring up, now is the time. Here, I'll give you the freebie code. It is Rivendell Green Valley. Oh, you know what? I haven't actually redeemed this, so I'll do that now. I'll show you how to do it. So you copy the code. Go to the Lotro store, which is always in the bottom of your bar at the end. So way over there. Open up the Lotro store. Hopefully it's not too having too much trouble. I'm just keeping an eye out for the groceries. Wow. There we go. Now it's coming. And then on this main page, you don't have to go any further. Down at the bottom, oh, here's behind my head. Right there, it says redeem code. So you click there, paste the code in, and hit the little present button. And now it should show up in your inventory. Boom, right there. Ta-da! So that's how you redeem codes. So, all right. Well, thanks everybody for coming along and joining me as I'm digging through these new hunter changes. And, okay, yeah, Commander Argo does say it looks like Tripwire was removed. That makes me sad. 'Cause I really enjoyed that one. That was a good one. All right. Well, hopefully next week we will be able to do more of putting this into practice and seeing how the hunter stuff works out. So yeah, I think I'm here next week. I think I'm here every Tuesday through the summer. But if not, I will probably put it on social media or in the Lotro Discord on that day, that sort of thing. But otherwise, I should see you all here every Tuesday through the rest of the summer. And remember, B4 will not be here through the rest of July and through August. So, but he should be back after that. All right. Well, have a great rest of your day, everybody. And stay cool if it's hot and stay warm if it's cool. And take care of each other and take care of yourself. All right. Bye-bye, everybody.